Lactobacillus rhamnosus, the probiotic that reprograms your gut. What if one microscopic organism could influence your digestion, your immune system, your mental health, and even your weight? Not a drug, not a hormone, but a probiotic bacterium. One of the most researched probiotics in modern microbiome science is called Lactobacillus rhamnosus. Scientists have studied this bacterium for decades, and the results are fascinating. Clinical trials published in PubMed index journals suggest that certain strains of Lactobacillus rhamnosus may improve gut barrier function, reduce antibiotic-associated diarrhea, support immune defenses, influence anxiety and stress through the gut-brain axis, help prevent certain infections, improve microbiome diversity. But here's the part many people don't understand. Not every probiotic works the same way. Different bacterial species have completely different biological effects, and even within the same species, individual strains behave differently. So in this video, we're going to break down everything science currently knows about Lactobacillus rhamnosus. Using simplified explanations backed by real human research, we'll explore what Lactobacillus rhamnosus actually is, where it lives in the human body, how it interacts with the microbiome, what clinical studies say about its health effects, the most researched strain, Lactobacillus rhamnosus, GG, and how this bacterium may influence the gut-brain connection. By the end of this video, you'll understand why many scientists consider Lactobacillus rhamnosus one of the most powerful probiotics ever discovered. What is Lactobacillus rhamnosus? Lactobacillus rhamnosus is a gram-positive probiotic bacterium belonging to the genus Lactobacillus, one of the most well-studied groups of beneficial bacteria in microbiology. These bacteria are naturally found in the human intestinal tract, the vaginal microbiome, fermented foods, dairy products, probiotic supplements. The name itself tells us a lot. Lacto refers to lactic acid production. Bacillus refers to its rod-shaped structure. Like other lactobacillus species, Lactobacillus rhamnosus converts sugars into lactic acid. This acidification of the gut environment is extremely important because it suppresses harmful bacteria, stabilizes gut pH, supports microbial balance. In simple terms, Lactobacillus rhamnosus helps create an environment where beneficial microbes can thrive and harmful microbes struggle to survive. This is one of the fundamental mechanisms behind many probiotic health effects. But Lactobacillus rhamnosus has some unique characteristics that make it particularly interesting to scientists. Unlike many other bacteria, it has an exceptional ability to survive stomach acid, tolerate bile salts, attach to intestinal mucus, colonize the gut for extended periods. These properties allow it to persist longer in the digestive system compared to many other probiotic strains. This means it has more time to interact with the host, meaning you, and that interaction happens at multiple biological levels. Where does Lactobacillus rhamnosus live in the body? The human body is home to trillions of microorganisms. Most of them live inside the gastrointestinal tract. This microbial ecosystem is known as the gut microbiome, and Lactobacillus rhamnosus is one of the many bacterial species that can be part of this ecosystem. Inside the intestine, bacteria exist in different zones. 1. The lumen, the open interior of the intestine. 2. The mucus layer, protective gel covering intestinal cells. 3. The epithelial surface, the cells forming the gut barrier. Lactobacillus rhamnosus is particularly good at interacting with the mucus layer. This layer is composed largely of a protein called mucin. It acts like a biological shield that separates gut bacteria from the intestinal wall. Many microbes simply pass through the digestive tract, but some bacteria, including Lactobacillus rhamnosus, can adhere to this mucus layer. This adhesion allows them to remain in the gut longer and interact with host tissues. Research has shown that Lactobacillus rhamnosus contains specialized surface proteins that help it attach to intestinal mucus. One famous example is a protein complex known as Spay-CBA pili. These microscopic structures act almost like tiny grappling hooks. They help the bacterium anchor itself to the intestinal surface. This ability to adhere is critical for probiotic activity, because if bacteria cannot stay in the gut long enough, they cannot exert meaningful biological effects. Lactobacillus rhamnosus and the gut barrier. One of the most important roles of the gut microbiome is maintaining the intestinal barrier. The gut lining is only one cell layer thick, yet it must perform a complex balancing act. It must allow nutrients to pass into the bloodstream, while preventing harmful microbes, toxins, and inflammatory molecules from entering the body. This barrier is maintained by structures known as tight junctions. Tight junctions act like microscopic seals between intestinal cells. When these seals weaken, the gut becomes more permeable. This phenomenon is sometimes called increased intestinal permeability, often referred to in popular science as leaky gut. Several studies suggest that certain probiotic bacteria, including Lactobacillus rhamnosus, may help support gut barrier integrity. In experimental models, researchers have observed that Lactobacillus rhamnosus can stimulate mucus production, increase tight junction protein expression, reduce inflammatory signaling in the gut. For example, studies published in journals indexed in PubMed indicate that Lactobacillus rhamnosus GG can enhance expression of proteins such as occludin, claudins, zonula occludins. These proteins are critical components of tight junctions. By supporting these structures, probiotic bacteria may help maintain intestinal barrier function. A stronger gut barrier may influence many aspects of health because the gut is not only a digestive organ, it is also a major immune interface between the body and the outside world. Lactobacillus rhamnosus and the immune system. Nearly 70% of the immune system is associated with the gastrointestinal tract. This network is known as the gut-associated lymphoid tissue, or GALT. Inside this system, immune cells constantly monitor microbes and molecules passing through the gut. Beneficial bacteria help train this immune system. They interact with immune cells through molecular signals. Lactobacillus rhamnosus has been shown to influence several aspects of immune activity. Studies suggest it may stimulate production of protective antibodies such as IgA, regulate inflammatory cytokines, enhance macrophage activity, promote balanced immune responses. For example, research has observed that certain strains of Lactobacillus rhamnosus can increase secretory IgA levels in the gut. IgA is one of the most important antibodies involved in mucosal immunity. It helps neutralize pathogens before they invade tissues. Some clinical studies have also investigated whether Lactobacillus rhamnosus supplementation may influence respiratory infections. Several trials have reported reductions in the duration or frequency of respiratory illness in certain populations, especially children. However, results vary depending on the strain, dose, and population studied. This highlights an important principle in probiotic science. Not all probiotic strains behave the same way, and understanding these differences is crucial. Lactobacillus rhamnosus. When scientists talk about Lactobacillus rhamnosus, one strain appears again and again in research papers. That strain is called Lactobacillus rhamnosus, often abbreviated as LGG. It is one of the most studied probiotic strains in the entire world. The strain was first isolated in 1983 by two researchers, Sherwood Gorbach, Barry Golden. The initials GG in the name actually come from their last names. Since its discovery, Lactobacillus rhamnosus has been investigated in hundreds of scientific studies. Many of these studies are indexed in PubMed, making LGG one of the best documented probiotics in clinical research. What makes this strain unique is its ability to survive the harsh conditions of the digestive system. To function as a probiotic, bacteria must survive several obstacles: stomach acid, digestive enzymes, bile salts in the small intestine. Many bacteria die before reaching the colon. But Lactobacillus rhamnosus has exceptional resilience. It can pass through the stomach and arrive in the intestine alive. Once there, it attaches to the intestinal mucus layer using the Spey-CBA pili mentioned earlier. This adhesion allows it to interact with the host microbiome and intestinal cells. Scientists believe this persistence is one reason why LGG shows measurable biological effects in human studies. Lactobacillus rhamnosus and antibiotic-associated diarrhea. Antibiotics are among the most important medical discoveries in history. They save millions of lives, but antibiotics have a side effect. They disrupt the gut microbiome. Antibiotics cannot easily distinguish between harmful bacteria and beneficial microbes. As a result, they often eliminate large portions of the normal gut flora. This disruption can lead to a condition known as antibiotic-associated diarrhea. Research suggests that this occurs in 5% to 30% of patients receiving antibiotics. The mechanism is relatively simple. When antibiotics reduce beneficial bacteria, opportunistic microbes can grow rapidly. This microbial imbalance leads to digestive disturbances. Lactobacillus rhamnosus has been extensively studied for this condition. Several randomized controlled trials suggest that supplementation with may reduce the risk of antibiotic-associated diarrhea. A meta-analysis published in journals indexed in PubMed found that probiotics, especially Lactobacillus rhamnosus, were associated with a significant reduction in diarrhea incidence in both adults and children. Researchers believe several mechanisms may explain this effect: restoration of microbial balance, production of antimicrobial compounds, competition with harmful bacteria, reinforcement of the intestinal barrier. In simple terms, Lactobacillus rhamnosus may help the microbiome recover faster after antibiotic disruption. Lactobacillus rhamnosus and the gut-brain axis. One of the most fascinating areas of microbiome research involves the gut-brain axis. The gut and brain communicate constantly. This communication happens through several pathways: the vagus nerve, immune signaling, microbial metabolites, hormones, and neurotransmitters. Scientists have discovered that certain gut bacteria may influence brain chemistry. These bacteria are sometimes referred to as psychobiotics. Lactobacillus rhamnosus is one of the probiotic species investigated in this context. In animal studies, researchers observed that certain strains of Lactobacillus rhamnosus influenced stress-related behavior. In one well-known experiment, mice given Lactobacillus rhamnosus showed reduced anxiety-like behavior, altered GABA receptor expression in the brain. GABA is one of the main inhibitory neurotransmitters in the nervous system. It plays a major role in regulating anxiety and mood. Interestingly, when researchers cut the vagus nerve, these behavioral effects disappeared. This suggested that communication between the gut and brain was occurring through neural pathways. Human research is still developing in this area. However, early clinical studies suggest that certain probiotic strains may influence stress responses, mood, and cognitive function. While Lactobacillus rhamnosus is not a treatment for anxiety disorders, its interaction with the gut-brain axis continues to be an exciting field of investigation. Lactobacillus rhamnosus and weight management. Another area of research focuses on the relationship between the microbiome and metabolism. Scientists now understand that gut bacteria influence many metabolic processes. These include energy extraction from food, regulation of appetite hormones, fat storage, glucose metabolism. Several studies have investigated whether Lactobacillus rhamnosus may influence body weight. One clinical trial conducted in Canada followed overweight individuals taking a probiotic supplement containing Lactobacillus rhamnosus. Interestingly, the results showed a gender difference. Women taking the probiotic experienced significantly greater weight loss compared to the placebo group. Men, however, did not show the same effect. Researchers are still trying to understand why. Possible mechanisms include changes in gut microbial composition, reduced inflammation, altered energy metabolism, improved insulin sensitivity. However, it is important to emphasize something critical. Probiotics are not weight loss drugs. Their metabolic effects appear subtle and depend heavily on diet, lifestyle, and the overall microbiome. but they may influence metabolic pathways in ways that scientists are still exploring. Lactobacillus rhamnosus and women's health. Lactobacillus species are also essential members of the vaginal microbiome. In healthy individuals, the vaginal environment is often dominated by lactobacillus bacteria. These bacteria produce lactic acid. This keeps the vaginal pH low, typically between 3.5 and 4.5. This acidic environment helps prevent the growth of harmful microbes. When lactobacillus populations decrease, infections such as bacterial vaginosis can occur. Some studies suggest that certain lactobacillus strains, including Lactobacillus rhamnosus, may help restore microbial balance. Clinical trials have explored probiotic use alongside conventional treatments. Results suggest that probiotics may help support vaginal microbiome recovery. However, effectiveness depends on the specific strain used. This again highlights the importance of strain-specific probiotic research. How Lactobacillus rhamnosus interacts with other gut bacteria. The gut microbiome is not a collection of isolated microbes. It is a complex ecosystem. Hundreds of bacterial species interact with each other. These interactions include competition, cooperation, metabolic cross-feeding. Lactobacillus rhamnosus participates in this microbial network. For example, it produces metabolites that other beneficial bacteria can use. These include lactic acid, short-chain fatty acid precursors. Other microbes can convert these compounds into molecules such as butyrate. Butyrate is extremely important for colon health. It serves as the primary energy source for colon cells and helps regulate inflammation. By contributing to these metabolic chains, Lactobacillus rhamnosus may indirectly support broader microbiome stability. Is Lactobacillus rhamnosus safe? One of the most important questions people ask about probiotics is simple. Are they safe? For the vast majority of healthy individuals, probiotics such as Lactobacillus rhamnosus are considered very safe. This is because these bacteria are not foreign invaders. They are microbes that naturally exist in the human body and in many traditional fermented foods. For decades, humans have consumed Lactobacillus species in foods like yogurt, kefir, fermented vegetables, cheese, cultured dairy products. Scientific safety assessments have confirmed that Lactobacillus rhamnosus strains, particularly Lactobacillus rhamnosus, have an excellent safety profile. In the United States, many probiotic strains are classified as GRS, meaning generally recognized as safe by regulatory authorities. Similarly, in Europe, these organisms are often included in the Qualified Presumption of Safety (QPS) list. However, safety always depends on context. Certain populations should consult a healthcare professional before taking probiotics. These include severely immunocompromised individuals, patients in intensive care units, people with central venous catheters, individuals with certain severe underlying illnesses. These cases are rare, but caution is always important when introducing live microorganisms into the body. For healthy adults, however, Lactobacillus rhamnosus is widely considered one of the safest probiotic organisms studied. How much Lactobacillus rhamnosus should you take? Probiotic doses are typically measured in CFU, which stands for colony-forming units. This represents the number of live bacteria capable of reproducing. Most probiotic supplements contain anywhere from 1 billion to 50 billion CFU per serving. Clinical studies involving Lactobacillus rhamnosus GG often use doses between 109 and 1011 CFU per day. However, more is not always better. The effectiveness of probiotics depends on several factors: the specific strain, survival through digestion, interaction with the existing microbiome, diet and lifestyle. Probiotics also work best when combined with prebiotic fibers. Prebiotics are compounds that beneficial bacteria use as fuel. Common prebiotics include inulin, fructooligosaccharides, FOS, galactoligosaccharides, GOS. These fibers help probiotic bacteria survive and multiply in the gut environment. In other words, probiotics are like seeds, and prebiotics are the fertilizer. Natural sources of Lactobacillus rhamnosus. While probiotic supplements are widely available, beneficial bacteria also occur naturally in fermented foods. Traditional fermentation allows microbes to grow and transform food. Some fermented foods may contain lactobacillus species. These include yogurt, kefir, fermented milk drinks, sauerkraut, kimchi, fermented pickles. However, the exact bacterial strains present in fermented foods can vary widely. Many foods contain mixtures of microbes rather than specific probiotic strains. This is one reason probiotic supplements are often used in clinical research. They allow scientists to study specific strains under controlled conditions. Still, fermented foods remain an important part of traditional diets around the world. They provide a natural source of microbial diversity that may support microbiome health. Future research on Lactobacillus rhamnosus microbiome science is still a very young field. Just 20 years ago, scientists had limited tools for studying microbial ecosystems, but new technologies, especially DNA sequencing, have transformed our understanding of the microbiome. Researchers can now analyze thousands of bacterial species inside the gut. This has opened the door to many new discoveries. Scientists are currently studying Lactobacillus rhamnosus in several exciting areas: personalized microbiome therapies, mental health and psychobiotics, immune modulation, metabolic disease, inflammatory bowel conditions. Future probiotics may become far more sophisticated than today's supplements. Researchers are exploring ideas such as engineered probiotic bacteria, targeted microbiome treatments, personalized probiotic prescriptions. One day, microbiome medicine may allow doctors to treat diseases by modifying the microbial ecosystem inside the human body. Lactobacillus rhamnosus is likely to remain one of the key organisms studied in this rapidly growing field. Final summary. Lactobacillus rhamnosus is one of the most researched probiotic bacteria ever discovered. Scientific studies suggest it may support gut microbiome balance, strengthen the intestinal barrier, interact with the immune system, help restore microbiota after antibiotics, influence the gut-brain axis, contribute to metabolic regulation. But one principle remains essential: not all probiotics are the same. Different strains have different biological effects. Understanding those differences is the key to unlocking the full potential of microbiome science. And as research continues, the tiny organisms living inside us may reveal even more surprising connections between microbes and human health. Subscribe for science-based gut and mental health videos.